Yeah, everybody, you don't know. EPL is back, and with that said, when you see the face and you hear the voice, you know it's Zane alongside the people's favorite. Yeah, man like JRP in the building.
Pleasure,
JRP, how's the
pleasure,
weekend?
pleasure as always. It was a good one. Little bit of international football, but that is finally over and now back to the English Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, international is never a good sign, as we'll touch on the results of that later. But without
Yeah,
further ado, I have to say big props to Richarlison and Spurs.
it was an emotional one, right? A well-deserved
Very
goal for him,
emotional.
and an assist as
I
well.
mean, an assist. I mean, this guy went away on international duty. Was horrible, then left out. I mean, couldn't buy a goal, but he kept plugging away. Get dropped from the Tottenham team, right? Son took up his spot, scored a hat trick. And I mean, it just shows you the character of the guy still.
Then came in and actually gave Tottenham a win.
A win, yeah, a vital 3 points.
Like you said, you list out everything that has been going wrong with Richarlison, only for him to
Yeah,
come to turn up on the day and give a goal and assist. And like we said, it was a needed goal for him. It was an
yeah,
emotional
man.
one. It was a to be honest, it was a good all round performance by Tottenham. They
It
left it
was.
late.
It was. I mean, at first when the announcement of the extra time, right, when that was announced, a lot of fans worldwide were against it. But we see how important it has become, right?
Yes,
Because it's
yes.
benefited us, it's benefited Tottenham, it's benefited a lot of teams so far.
It is a much needed additional what they pull from the World Cup
The World Cup,
with
yeah,
this extra time. There were too many time wasting, and we can list a bunch of things, but we like to see the game play in the right way. One of my
yeah,
concerns early on was in the season when Tottenham lost Hurricane. I was one of them that believed that they would have struggled because they didn't just lose a 20 goal scorer, they lost a leader, they lost a creator as well. But I know we're
yeah.
still early in the season, we're 5 games in, but
5 games, yeah.
games in and Tottenham have looked really impressive with their new manager. They're an all-out attacking side.
I mean,
With the acquisition of Madison as well,
yeah,
that could very well be the buy of the season.
yeah, that is true. I mean, their manager got voted manager of the month, right?
Yes,
So we see the immediate impact he's had on Tottenham, and
yeah,
they're one of I think four undefeated teams right now.
right now.
Right, City with a perfect record, and
See,
everybody else, played four, drawn one.
yeah.
But
And they have a huge test coming up next week against Arsenal. So that should be
yeah,
interesting. Will they play this same attacking football, or will they try and sit back and hit Arsenal on the counter?
honestly, I think their manager plays one way, one type of football.
He's going to live or die by
Good at
his style of
live or
play.
die. Yeah, good attacking football. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I will say Tottenham, they're flying under the radar. Not a lot of people are talking about them. They're quietly going about winning their games and playing some good football as well.
And like
So
I said, I think one of the reasons for that is that they lost their talisman, their best player. Many think
yeah,
they would have struggled, but like we said, it's five games in. But these first 5 games have looked pretty impressive by Tottenham,
yeah, we gotta
and
give them that.
and they're growing
Tottenham props.
straight. They're, each game they have looked stronger than before.
True, true. I mean, with a relatively new manager, his process, his style of play, while the players have adapted it and bought into it, it will just get better over time.
Exactly.
But without giving Tottenham too much praise and saying well done to Richarlison, because a lot of players, we see a lot of players go into that rut where they can't buy a goal and it just continues. He fought his
Richarlison
way
have
out.
been that player for me that I've always admired since his Everton days.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I have said from day one that going to Tottenham would have been a good move for him because he will
yes,
be around much better quality players. The Hurricane is now not there anymore, so that spot is there for the taking. And if he continues scoring, he will be the main guy.
definitely, definitely. But a team that needs a main guy, Manchester United. Now, there's so much going on at Manchester United that I as a football fan, I'm really concerned and worried. So I can just imagine the pressure the manager is under, right? Especially after this 3-1 defeat at the hands of Brighton. It's
That
not
was
so much the loss in a JRP, it's the
that was out.
manner in how they lose.
That was outstanding performance by Brighton. You can't hate
This,
Brighton. You can't dislike
no, you can't.
Brighton.
No, you can't. You can't. It's a team that you watch, even since the Graham Potter days, you watch Brighton. You love the way they
And,
play and you want
and
them to do
yeah,
well.
and you have to admire Brighton. They lose the best player, they get him back player, they lose their manager, they replace the
Yeah.
manager, and they just keep ticking
Then
over.
lose the
It's
best player.
like
Then
you're
lose the best
wondering
player
if
again.
this fairy tale will eventually end. But currently, right now, as a football fan, I'm loving it.
Yeah, same, same. I mean, they lose their best players year after year. The manager, and they're still playing good
And
football.
they're
They're
still playing.
still, yeah, I definitely love Brighton.
But
But
as it relates to
Ma-
Manchester United, I have no idea what's going on. Three things is always consistent at Manchester United, Zaid. If it's not the owner, then it's the
yep,
player,
yep.
and then it's the manager. It's a never ending cycle over there.
I mean, look, we all know that the Glazers, the fans and the Glazers have a big disconnect, right? But the Glazers have also backed the managers. They've also invested money in the managers, right? The managers have also come in, different managers, gotten rid of
Hmm.
players that they don't want at the club, right?
Yes,
Implemented their style of play, and
correct.
it still doesn't seem to fit because
Doesn't.
again, we have Manchester United, people that we discuss football with. And when Ten Hag came in, he was touted as the right man for the job. Then,
Yes, the right man to
John,
change
then
everything from the back room come straight up to the
exactly,
front room.
come straight up. Then when Sancho came in, he was applauded as, the next world beater.
The next
And
best thing.
what I mean? We see where, all right, everything is basically almost brand new, from backroom staff to players because they got rid of Cristiano Ronaldo. But
Yes, who
the
was one of
same
the troublemaker.
toxicity, the same toxic environment is there.
And now
So
Sancho
what
is
is it?
the next player that is having problem with the manager as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And the
I
manager
mean,
is not making things any easier for himself because
exactly.
he keep entertaining the media with the Sancho thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen. For one, you shouldn't have even brought up the Sancho thing. You know what I mean? Keep that in house. All right, you brought up the Sancho thing, fine. Leave it there. Don't keep talking about it. Right? I remember when Arteta and Aubameyang had their little
Riff.
issues, and you didn't hear much about what happened.
Yes,
Right?
yes. We just keep
Even
hearing
though
he's
us
training
Arsenal
hard
fans,
in training.
yeah, yeah, that is all you hear. Even though us Arsenal fans are divided on was Arteta right to let go of Aubameyang or
Even
why he
opposite
let go of
situation
Aubameyang.
as well.
Yeah, you do not know, right? And that is the good thing. That's what you should do at a big club. You
Because
take the heat off of your
we
players.
come from that era where we see the Alex Ferguson and the Arsene Wenger never wash their dirty laundry in public.
True.
And Arteta got a little bit of that from both mentors, from Pep Guardiola and Arsene Wenger as well. You can't come if
Yeah,
you come out
true.
and wash your dirty laundry in public, then you're opening up for every attack because the minute he said something
Yeah.
about Sancho, Sancho immediately went to Twitter like in
Yeah.
9.99 seconds.
Yes, it's like as he watched the clip, he tweeted back a response.
Yeah, and that
And
shows that there's some rift there, there's some lack of respect there as well.
yes, yes, there's a big disconnect because even when I go back to the Aubameyang and Arteta thing, right? You didn't hear from the manager's side, and you didn't hear from the player side either.
Exactly.
So
Because if the
even though
Arteta keeps saying that he's working hard in training, what can Aubameyang come out and say?
nothing, nothing, right?
Exactly.
Go even further back, we saw it with Ozil.
And what could Ozil said as well?
Nothing, right? But now when you directly throw a player under the bus, right? After a loss as well, you throw the player under the bus, and that player hits back, right? And then you come lose the following game.
It doesn't
What do
look,
you do? It doesn't look good. It
this is
doesn't look
what
good.
this is what 5 games played,
Hmm.
what 2 match won,
I think they won one game.
1 game draw one, and they lost the rest. And then
Yeah.
they have a keeper that I think has faced 10 shots to date and let in 7.
Let him. No, this is what I don't understand, right? I remember when Keke was saying that the Chelsea fan that we had on the show not too long ago that
Yes.
Onana is supposed to be an upgrade on the hair because of
And
his
I was
ball
there clearly
playing.
shaking my head. I was like,
No, ball playing maybe not ball playing definitely. His range of passing definitely. However, shot stopping, how you gonna let go the person that won the Golden Glove last season? No, you picked up a man that will slip on a banana peel.
but my thing, Zane, is that even if you're going to let go David there, right? Because we have seen De Gea with made a lot of mistake as well, a lot,
True.
right? And you want a much better keeper. You want a keeper that can play from the back. And we're not disputing that, right? But I believe
Yeah.
that they could have done much better than Onana.
I mean, yeah, they definitely could have. We've seen Chelsea evidently did that, right?
Yeah.
Arsenal even did that.
If it was me, I would have went over Brentford and knock on their door and get
Yeah,
David Real long before Arsenal.
exactly,
Arsenal
exactly.
because that's a keeper that he's a good shot stopper and he distribute well.
Distributes excellently well. Reads the game, know when to come and collect, when to sweep. I mean, again, there's so
A,
many issues at Manchester United, JRP.
a lot
From
is
the
going on over
manager,
there. I hear the fans singing that Ten Hag should get fired. I'm not.
yeah,
That's a little bit too quick.
I agree with that. That's way too quick.
That's
Way too
way
quick.
too quick. Way too quick.
And the fans that are singing that, they're basically hurt because before the start of the season, to how the team looked, they had this cockiness to them where, oh, we're finishing above you and we're finishing above you and we might finish second this season if we don't challenge for the title, that is. So now things are unraveling. It's basically bruised ego. So they're looking for somebody to blame.
For me, I had Manchester United at least pushing for the title, right? Because it's a fresh season. Regardless of some of the individuals who are out with injuries or players that they haven't received, but they still got a good core of player, right? But currently, when you look at the side, I'm not saying it is in shambles, but there's still a long way to go. There's Anthony over there that pretty much lost. he's the next player that is in some domestic dispute problem.
Yeah,
There's Bruno Fernandes, who is pretty much playing every position I can think of. There's Casemiro, who is just easy, who is the worst player in a Manchester United jersey right now.
I know. Which I think, and when we all saw the quality that he came with last season, we all know his quality as well. I
World
think
class.
the environment is what's affecting his play and his effort on the field.
Yes. So Ten Hag need to start at this as quickly as possible. Manchester United need to put on a good run of game before the next international break.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, luckily the fixtures aren't too difficult for them, and
That's a good thing.
you know, they say misery loves company. They actually have company in terms of what's going on at the club and where they find themselves in the table. Because Chelsea, Chelsea. I
It's the same
when
story week after week with
same story,
Chelsea.
same story, JRP. Because
Um,
what everybody alludes to at first is the amount of money Chelsea has spent,
one, yeah,
right?
that's one.
And then when people start looking at the amount of players they have, especially world class players that they have, and then the manager that everyone was clamoring for, saying, yes, this is the right chance, right manager, right? And with Chelsea basically played well against Liverpool, right? And then should have even won that game against Liverpool. But after
I
that,
believe they should
they
have.
started faltering, right?
All of Chelsea game that they have played, except was it the one that they lost at Stamford
Nottingham
Bridge,
Forest,
Nottingham Forest, yeah. Um,
and this one as well.
and this one as well. You could say that Chelsea were playing football,
Yes, yes,
but it just the quality up front, and I'm not throwing shade at the Jackson, because in reality it always seemed to be the three players that are always involved for Chelsea. It's always Sterling, it's always
yep,
Gallagher, and it's
Jack,
always Jackson.
yep,
Consistently, it has always been those three players since the get go, even up to today's
yes,
match. One Sterling by far is Chelsea best player since the
best
season
player.
start,
Definitely,
and
definitely.
all of their attack are coming from Sterling's side, and it is mixed with Gallagher. The Chelsea just need to find a way or to just those chances that they're creating, they just finish
Put
it.
them
That's
away.
all Chelsea need to do.
No, the thing is, like you said earlier, in 3 of the 5 games Chelsea were playing, and you could have said deserve to win or at least get
Yes,
something from the
at
game.
least get a point out of it.
This game, though, right? While the best chance they had was the Sterling free kick,
Oh, that
right?
was a brilliant one.
Brilliant free kick. But then, um, Bournemouth also had really good chances and more
Yeah,
clear cut chances.
Bournemouth could have nicked it in the end. And you see, with this match, Chelsea had a lot of room to run behind Bournemouth
Yes,
compared to the
yes,
rest of game that they have played.
yeah. I agree with you there. They had more space to play their way.
To there. But like I said, again, it's just the lack of finishing and the lack of making smarter decisions, better decisions. And if they don't convert these decisions, it will come back to haunt them.
My question is though, right? If Manchester United fans are calling for Eric Ten Hag to get the sack, do you think Chelsea fans will follow soon? Especially where Chelsea has that history of not giving managers time. They want that
Yes,
success no.
yes, I think the more pressure will be on the Chelsea manager. One with the the amount of funds that Chelsea have spent to date, and with the amount of
The
players
better
that they
team.
have at their disposal as well. If the result doesn't turn into something positive, you have that fear that he will get that axe at some point.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we would want to say give him till the end of the season and whatnot, but that's not the Chelsea way, right? We
No,
all know, we all saw what happened last year.
unless if they have changed from that model and decide to stick with a manager who can carry them through and through.
Well, that remains to be seen, if they have changed, but based on history, especially current history, where they fired three in 1 year, then I don't know. It's looking rough for Chelsea, man.
Yeah, anything is possible.
Yeah. No, the big game, our game, we finally won at Goodison Park. That's
Yeah,
what.
finally.
That's what. First win in five or six. First win in
First
six,
winning
I think.
six.
And it was, man, it was a hard fought victory.
Yeah, and the thing about it is not a case of where Everton was doing anything brilliant.
No, 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 no.
It
Everton,
was
they
it
had
was
what,
just
maybe
an
two chances.
yeah, it was just on the day the game felt like it was going into a draw because the more Arsenal attack, you just couldn't see a way where they would score. They weren't their usual self on the day. Sometimes they were somewhat flat as well.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's Sean Dyche and Dyche ball. We know what to expect from Everton,
Yeah, it's that
right?
negative, boring football.
That negative ball game, that deep line block, rough, tall defenders.
Yeah,
You notice Arsenal
that's a
didn't take a
very
corner.
that's what they call a low block.
Oh gosh, man, they were on the 18-yard box. Arsenal didn't even like take their corners to kick the ball into the box.
Yeah, you had to
It
come
was
short.
short corners, right? And I will say though, we did deserve it because again, we had over 80% of the ball. We had the chances. Everything was flowing Arsenal way.
Yes,
But
it was.
you
Yeah,
always
we
have to
deserved it
fear
because
Everton.
we were the one that was knocking on Everton door. Everton weren't doing any sort of knocking, to be honest. They were just
No.
there trying to just make things difficult. I mean, we pretty
I
much
tell
had
you
it
what
easy
Everton
at the
wanted.
back.
I tell you what Everton wanted. To bring it all the way down into the dying moments and to
And
try and get
steal
a
it on
set
the
piece.
last, like they did
Yeah.
like what they did last season.
Yes. Try and get a set piece, a corner,
Yeah,
free kick, anything.
and that was always in the back of my head that it
Same.
is possible. It is possible. It didn't happen, and I just gladly just take these 3 points and just look forward to the
Yeah, man.
Champions League, and then look forward to Spurs on the weekend. Hope Martinelli is not too bad. It doesn't look too bad because he walked off the pitch, then he went down to the dressing room, and then he came back out. So
Right.
um,
No, I'm glad
Vera
you
look
touched
well
on
as well.
Martinelli.
Big up to Vera. Vera look,
Best
yeah,
player.
man. He could very well be the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, I think he's Arsenal best player. But I'm glad you touched on the Martinelli issue because his goal, right, it was ruled offside. And
Yes.
I'm still, while I understand what they said with Nketiah coming from an offside position,
His heel was offside.
yes, Nketiah's heel was offside. However,
Um,
the ball that Gabriel played to him, it took a big deflection, right?
yeah.
That's how it got to Nketiah. So
And
normally, wouldn't that mean, hey, it takes a deflection off the opposition player? So
and take your shoulders got inside as fast as possible. Remember in football we always
I
say
agree with
that
that.
get back in position as quickly as
Get
possible.
back. Yes,
Especially with this fine margin where even if your
yes,
shot is catching the offside line, Yeah, it will rule
That's
offside.
it.
So Eddie should just get back in position as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It was one of his best game. I mean, can't really blame him because not much was
No.
going on for neither striker, to be
No.
honest.
No. I mean, even when Jesus came on, all that was happening was he was getting roughed up consistently by Tarkovsky.
Yes, they pretty much did that to a lot of our players.
Yeah.
But it
I mean,
wasn't
that's the
overly
Everton way.
aggressive. It wasn't any overly aggressive play from Everton.
No. No.
They played to some sort of strength that they have, and I said some sort of strength because Everton is a team that you don't know what you're getting from Everton. No, you know what you're getting from
Yeah.
Everton is that it's another season where they're going to be in the relegation.
I'm glad you touched
They,
on that.
they have
You
a long
think it's too early?
8 months of them. No, it is not because they're already there.
Listen, Everton fans, I don't mean to laugh, but it cannot continue where every single season it's the same thing,
It is the
right?
only positive that Everton have going on for them right now is that they're going to get a new owner, and
Yes, hopefully.
with new owner, possibly there will be investment, but they would have to clear a certain debts as well. But
Yeah.
it should be something that Everton fan should be happy about because currently there's not much to be happy about at Everton.
Yeah, no. One of the things, we touch on the problems at Manchester United with players, but what about Demar Gray at Everton? Because he's leaving. He wants to leave. He's made that clear. He won't play another game for them.
Yeah, and one of those clubs in the Saudi Arabia wanted him, but I
Yeah.
don't believe that he should go to Saudi Arabia. I believe that he should stay in England or somewhere in Europe, to be honest.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But
But
I mean,
if
give
if
give give hold on, give
if
Dyche props because you don't really hear anything coming out of Dyche's corner as
with
to a rift between him and Gray.
yeah, with if I was one of the person them are regret camp, I would say suit up, be professional, go out and play. Because look at what happened to Richarlison. He did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He got his chance to leave. The regret can said do the same thing. We're coming up in World Cup qualifiers. He's going to need as much game as possible.
True. Yeah. Definitely true. But the last point I want to touch on, JRP, with the international break, right? The World Cup qualifiers I can understand are important, but then
Very important.
the friendlies, they're not necessary at this point in time, man, because we see a lot of players come back, right? Fatigued. A lot of teams leaving out their best players like Brighton, no Estopinian, Chelsea, no Chilwell. We know the importance of Chilwell. And we saw Martinelli basically, I think, 20 minutes in, pulled up with
And
an
he was
injury.
out.
So, like, yes, the
For,
World Cup qualifiers,
for
fine.
me, like I said, for the qualifiers, yes, you can use your best players, but for the friendlies, you already know what your best players capable of. Use other players that you haven't got much of a look in on and see what they do in the
Yes,
friendlies.
yes, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. But all in all, JRP, it was a great weekend again. We take that 3 points and we move.
Yes, it was a good weekend, and since the season start, we have had one drawn match. Can you believe that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One John match.
And it
So,
happened over the weekend.
definitely. But hey, Chelsea fans, Manchester United fans, we always want to hear what you have to say, especially Manchester United fans. So,
Manchester United fans have a lot to say.
yeah, so if you want a platform to voice your opinion, get things off your chest, lower the blood pressure, we invite you, reach out or reach out back, leave it in the comments, You know, say what you have to say, man. But JRP, as usual, we'll wish the people them, and we'll tell them, please, always like, you know, mash it up, mash it
Mash
up,
it up. Mash up the like
yeah.
button.
Subscribe and turn on the
Definitely.
notification bell, man.
Yes,
Make it
which is
ring like
right.
lunchtime at school. And people, please, be a brother's keeper. And like the great Miss Lou
Always.
would say, walk good.
And good up he follow you.